Hello, it's Jenny here, and this must be take 2 or 3, or well, I've lost count. My stupid phone. Get into that in a minute. First I'll do the welcome. Welcome back to my channel where the crazy things happen. I swear this house or my phone or something is haunted because nothing just is going according to plan. The plan was that I was going to do a video making tassels for the spines of my journals. And I started out doing that, and I had a problem with my phone. It switched off partway through the video that I was recording. And that was because I forgot to delete the 3 longish parts to my video that I've uploaded already onto YouTube. It's the latest one there. Well, by the time this one gets loaded, it'll be the latest. So it was the one before this one, which was making charms. Right, okay. So I deleted those videos off my phone, but forgot to delete them out of the storage to put them in recycle bin and bin them. So when I started to record again, thinking everything's fine, you know, everything's fine, Jen, just get back into it, finish this video, it cut out again because, of course, the storage I hadn't, even though it's in the recycle bin, it's still taking up space. So I went in and found that I hadn't deleted the recycle bin. So I've done that, I've emptied it. So hopefully this time it'll record. But in the meantime, because I was doing the video and making the tassels, half of what I was going to do in the video is now done. Luckily, these tassels are really easy to make. I have one more to do, and they are super easy. So probably one is all you're going to need to find out how I go about it. Yeah. Oh, what a nightmare. It's a YouTuber's recording nightmare. But on a happy note, my 2 shabby chic journals are now finished because I have done their tassels. They're done. So after this video, I'm going to attach the tassels and do a flip through. But the flip through, if I do the two journals together, the flip through is going to be super long. So I'm going to do 2 flip throughs, 1 each, and upload those. And I'm going to try and do a voiceover. See how that goes, because I've never done that. I have no clue how it works. So yeah, we'll try. Anyway, I'll show you what I've done. So I've done this tassel, and this one I have actually threaded some beads on. Try and untangle them. They're randomly put on there. They're knotted onto, just I've used crochet, very, very thin crochet cotton. So I've got about 3 or 4 strands of beads in amongst there. They're kind of hidden in amongst all the fabrics and lace, but these are just made with various fabrics and lace in the colour theme of the shabby chic journals. And yeah, they're very fluffy, I guess is what you would call them. So there's that one, that's for one of them. And then this is the other one. I didn't put beads on this one because it took about, takes about, for 3 or 4 strands, just those few beads on each one, it takes around about 15 to 20 minutes to do. And like, I thought I was doing it on video, and so I thought, no, I'll just do it on one. So this one is the same fabrics and lace, and there's some feathers wool and eyelash, ostrich feathers wool as well in amongst them. So, you know, a bit fluffy. Yeah, so there's that one. So I've done that. This one is for a journal that I've been wanting to do for quite some time now, but I still haven't got the papers for it. I've got some, but not enough, and I need ephemera. So I need kind of like a kit. And as well, I always make my own ephemera too. So, but that's what this one's for. At some point down the track. This one is for a mermaid journal that I'm going to do. So that one is pretty much the same. A lot of feathers and ostrich feathers lace. There's also some textured wool. It's got like knots in it. I've used some ribbon. I've got some hand-dyed seam binding that I bought on Etsy, which I can't remember where. If I'll have a look at my past purchases, and I'll put the link in, because I'm really happy with what I received, and it didn't take long to arrive, and it's beautifully done. So I'll drop a link for that. So now I'm going to do one in red and black with a bit of well, it's kind of like a dark cream gold sort of tone, which I've taken off of an old shirt. It's quite a nice material. It's like a silk sort of material, which was embroidered. So I've got that. I've got some ribbon, I've got feathers, I've got other fabric which I took off of a dress that I had here. I've got some black lace, and I've got some other, I've got some embroidered net. It's black net, but it's embroidered with the same tones as this and red flowers. So that's what I'm using. And I've got a really lovely, there we go, large metal bead caps. I've got a very fine 28 gauge jewellery wire. I've got some jump rings, and I've got bulb pins and scissors. So if you want to join me in making these, you can pause the video and go get what you need. You just need to gather up whatever you can in the form of textiles that will blend in with the journal that you would like to put the tassel onto. Sorry. Sorry, my throat is going all croaky. And cut it into thin strips of, probably, that would be your widest, which is about 1 inch wide. So 1 centimetre to 1 inch wide. I would have various widths, not all the same, if I was you. And you just then need to cut it into the lengths that you need, and the way you do that is you work out how long you need your tassel to be, and that will depend on how tall your book stands, your journal stands. So like these, for instance, is this long, which I can give you a measurement, an approximate, because they're different, quite different lengths. So it is, to the bead cap, it is 23 centimeters long. So you would need to double that for each strand of textile that you're cutting. So whatever length you want your tassel to be, you need that length again. All right, because you end up folding it in half, putting it all together, folding it in half. All right. So if you had it this length, it would be, that's how long your tassel would be. All right. So no, you need it longer, and you need to double the length that you work out that you need for your journal. Plus you're going to need, well, how I'm doing it is I'll tell you what I'm using. If you can come up with a better idea to put yours together, great. Go about and do it your way, not a problem. I'm just showing you how I'm putting mine together, and hopefully that will inspire you for making yours, and perhaps you'll come up with a much either easier or a different process that suits you more. And that's all good. That's what crafting's about. So yeah, you just need to do that with your textiles. Then you need to get yourself some fairly decent wide bead caps. They need to be at least this wide, which at the base, these are just over a centimetre. So they're about 12 millimeters wide at the base in diameter. If they're narrower, it's not going to sit on the top of your tassel very well. And I'm using jump rings. You probably don't need to, because, well, I wouldn't really need to, because with the jewellery wire I create a loop anyway, so I don't really need a jump ring. I don't know why I'm putting them on. I don't know. To me, it's just like it's finished if I put them on. So, and then you need your bulb pins, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and some strong cotton. I'm using the finest crochet cotton that you can get. It's almost like a linen thread almost. So I'm just using that. Yeah, and you'll need fine-nosed, if you're using the jewellery wire, you're going to need fine-nosed spring pliers, and you're going to need wire cutters. Or you could be very naughty, and if it's 28 gauge, you could cut the wire with your scissors, but that would be naughty. So wire cutters. Okay. And then if you've never put these onto a journal, you just need to punch a hole in your spine at the top and put a like a rivet, whatever you call them, those thingies, yeah, that go, you hammer into the holes, you need to put those in. I'm not, because I've got lace on my spines. I'm just going to pin mine to the lace. And my spines were way too thick. There was no way I could get a I couldn't punch. I could get the awl through the spine, but to make the hole bigger, there's no way I could punch a bigger hole. I don't have a crocodile, so yeah. And I found that the rivet thingies, the spines were too thick for them, so they wouldn't actually crimp on the inside properly because the spine was too thick. So I usually put lace on my spines anyway, so just because I think it strengthens them even more. So I very rarely don't put lace on my spines. Okay, so I just need to go through now, and all mine is cut to length. So what you need to do is what I do is I get 2 piles. You could probably do it in 3 if you've got an even number, like divisible into 3 of each piece of your textile. You know, every piece that you've got, you would need enough to divide into 3 if you're going to do 3 groups. I'm just doing 2 groups. So I'm starting off with just random. Oh no, these ones I've got to cut because I haven't cut all of these. Some of them were too long. So if each strand if there are some strands that are a little bit longer than others, that's fine. It all adds to the effect of, you know, how you want it to look. Just adds a bit more sort of texture to it being a bit longer. So do I need that to be that length? Yeah, I might have to trim mine. I've made mine a little bit too, I don't know, should I cut that in a quandary now? No, I think I'm going to leave it. All right. Oh, there's another one that I need to trim to length. I thought I had already done all this, but obviously not. So I'll just trim this quickly. That one is short, but I'll still use it. I'll just pop that aside for now. Pop that there. Piece of black over here. And a piece of this one over here. Yeah, this is going to be too long, so I'm going to have to trim it up a little bit, but that's all right. And a piece of this on there, and one on there. So this is for, I bought a kit some time ago. I'm not going to say anything too much about it just at this point. I'm not ready to divulge all my plans. Sorry, I do get a bit protective of my plans. Just know that there's an awesome journal coming up in the near future. That one's too short now. So I'm making sure that there is odd lengths because I don't want it too uniform. I just love this embroidered net. I wish I had more of this, but I don't. It's just gorgeous. Just trying to keep it a little bit even in the way I do these piles. It's not terribly even, but it's not too bad. Oops. And another piece of ribbon, which I might trim this one down to half the size. That one there. And do the same with this one. And then I've just got all the feathers wool to add in. This just sort of adds interest and a bit of bulk to the tassel. So some I've cut a little bit shorter and some I'm leaving long. Okay, so now that's done. And now keeping them pretty much together like that. I won't worry about putting those two pieces in. And now I'm just going to cut off just a little bit of this cotton. And find the middle, which is around about here, and pick it up. And in the middle, I'm going to tie this cotton. So I'm actually tying the two bundles together. But I want to make sure that I have got that in the center. Thereabouts it is. So I'm going to tie it off into a knot as tight as possible. So these are super quick to make. And no, not having any luck tying a simple knot. Come on, all fingers and thumbs here. Get it together, Jennifer. Can't be that hard. Look at that. One's pulling through because it's not very tight. You need to have it tight so that you don't lose any. And that just holds it all in place for your next step. All right, so, you know, that doesn't have to be a permanent fixture of your piece. All right, so now I'm going to get my jewellery wire and cut a length off. I always cut a little bit more than what I need. And I'm going to, see, now that I've got that tied up, I can freely work with this and not lose any of it. So I'm going to do a similar thing without tying a knot. I'm just going to wrap it around. And try and pull it as tight as I possibly can. And to do that, I'm going to use my pliers to grip hold of it. Okay. I might give it a little twist at this point. Right, and then just bring them back together. I'll get rid of that green cotton in a minute. Here's my scissors. And then you can bring it together and just give it a shake just to jumble it all up. Like so. All right. Okay, and now with my two pieces of wire that are pulled together, I'm going to thread them. Oh no, I'm going to get a, that's the other thing, I choose to put a bead on here first. You don't really need to. I'll show you why in a minute. All right, so I've got a bead there, which, I don't know, I just choose to do it. And this bead cap will fit right over the top of it, which is why, you know, I don't really know why I need to have it. And if I can get the wire through the hole. That will be good. There you go. See, you can't see the bead, but I don't know, there's a purpose for it. Okay. Now, with the fine nose pliers, holding the wire close to the bead cap, just bend it and create a bit of a loop, like so, and then with the excess, wrap it around to close that loop in. Like that. And I've just had a very cool idea, which I'm going to add to this in a minute. So just use all your excess, make a post pretty much for your little loop to sit above. And the 28 gauge is so super fine, you can just use your fingers to twist this around. It's really very pliable wire. And then when you get to the very end, try and pull it in and squish it in so that it's not sticking out and catching on things. Which this is proving to be stubborn. All right, there we go. I have a loop on a post. Okay, and I'm wondering if my idea is going to get lost in there. I was going to hang a charm on that. I think it might get lost in amongst all the bits. I don't know if it's worth me doing it. Okay. I don't think I'll worry about it. I think I should have thought about that before putting the bead cap on, to be honest. So if you want to put a charm on there with a bit of chain, do that before putting the bead cap onto your tassel. Right, so now I'm just going to pop a jump ring through my loop. Just open it up a little bit. Pop that through and close it back up. squish it together just a little bit. Right, that is closed. And now I just need a jump ring, which I have right here. And it is done. There. So it's as simple as that. And these longer bits, the ones that are too long, I'm going to just trim off. Okay. So I've still got odd lengths, but I've just trimmed off the really extra long ones, except for this one. And now that's all ready to go onto a journal that I'm going to make within the next 2 months. I've got quite a bit of printing to do from the kit. So all the bits that I've collected. So that's that. Now I'm just going to do a flip through of my journals and upload that. So super easy to make, and you can easily make these. You can make a few of these in an hour or two. You can just sort of get all your stuff together. If you've got it all together and all pre-cut, that's the longest part, is gathering up all your bits and pieces. Actual putting them together takes no time at all. So you can probably get a few done in an hour or so, like once you've gathered up all your stuff and got it prepared. All right, drop a comment below, tell me what you think, and have a really happy time crafting, and I will see you in the next video. Fingers crossed that the voiceover will work. All right, bye for now, everyone.